We head towards the recurve. The year began with a few surprises for the recurve ladies, with Park and Choi taking the top points in Ulsan. Korean domination continued in Versace, with Lee taking 25 points. Russia's Erdynieva came away with 21 points, taking her total to 27. Natalia beat Choi to record her first win of the season. And with Erdynieva and Choi absent from Dover, competition was dominated by Zhang Juan Juan and Dola Banerjee. The men's recurve category in 2007 began with a surprise elimination of Park by the French archer Thomas Aubert, leaving the way for Chinese Taipei to fight for gold. It was in Versace, Italy, that Frangilli fought against the magnificent Tirimpilov to take his 25 points in front of his home crowd. And Talaya produced an all-Korean final with Im and Kim. Im making his only appearance in the World Cup. Kim took the gold and 25 points. Alan Wills, who had previously secured only 7 points in Ulsan, secured a place in Dubai, but it was Tirimpilov who took his World Cup total to 64. There's the rankings for the women, which is what we'll be looking at next. We had a couple of very interesting matches there. And as we were saying, Jamie, if you're able to stay with us just for a bit longer, it was a much more up and down kind of event. There's not so many 8s for the archers, so you do get a few perhaps 7s or 8s or whatever. And it makes it a little bit more unpredictable, I think it's fair to say.
Yes, actually Recurve, because of the technology that the compounds are available to compounds, we have a smaller area. We keep the arrows in a much smaller area, but in Recurve, a small mistake might mean a big difference in points down at the target. So yeah, there's a lot of point swings, and you can't count anybody out until the very end.
Well, unfortunately, we didn't see Jamie get her bronze live on television, but we are going to see the recurve women fight it out. And it's Erdynieva of Russia who takes her place on the right-hand side. Here's some stats here. Her World Cup rank is first, so it's a bit of a surprise to see her in the bronze medal playoff. And 25 points in Turkey, with a first place. Here's her opponent, and it is the Chinese competitor. Zhang is her name, and she had a bit of an off day this morning, it has to be said, but they'll both be thirsting for a little bit of honour to be restored, and for the bronze medal. The fourth place person goes away with $1,000. But you don't go away with a medal, and that's important, isn't it?
It is important. In fact, you'll often find that the bronze medal scores end up being higher than the gold medal scores because the people know that it's bronze medal or nothing.
Absolutely. Otherwise, you'll be going away with some nice memories and not a lot else.
Yeah. Pat on the back. Good job.
So it all goes a little bit quiet, and we start with Erdynieva. Erdynieva is, of course, the niece of Baljanima Tirimpilov in the men's recurve. You'll see him shortly, starting with an 8 and a 9 for Zhang. This is, as we said, not something where you will see 10 after 10 after 10. It is tougher. The sights aren't what you would be used to.
Some of them are. We saw some matches this morning that were equivalent to compound matches.
Yeah. Just a testament to the skill of these archers. These are the kind of bows you will see at the Olympics next year. The classic bows, it's sometimes called. And it's 18 plays 16. Erdynieva needs to just up her game, and as I say that, she actually just drifts into the 7s. Time for her to step away and just have a quick word with her coach. Can Zhang turn the screw? Just to mix my metaphors. Yes, she can. That'll do the job. Now, one thing you do notice is the recurve, the speeds a lot lower as well. So you're talking about perhaps another 60 kilometers an hour less.
Correct.
This is because you don't obviously have the pulley system that you have. It just get quite technical with the compound bows that you use. I mean, they are born really out of hunting, aren't they? Whereas this is the traditional bow that you've had perhaps for centuries.
Yes, that's correct. This is as original as they get these days. They're a little bit more high-tech, obviously, than good old Robin Hood used to have, but they are considered a traditional bow.
I'm glad you said the RH word and not myself, but I was trying to keep it up to date. But yes, throughout the ages, this is the kind of bow. Obviously, this has got composite materials and whatever else have you and sights, but it's very much the similar sort of things you would get. The one thing you do find different, as you see Erdynieva get a 9 there, is in front. You do see a mechanism for balancing the pole out front and to try and just dampen down the recoil. You do get a recoil on these, don't you?
You do absolutely get a recoil. It kicks just like a gun does, and the vibration, you can feel it in your hand. We call it feedback.
And if you get it wrong, it must hurt, I imagine. And she's really off there. There's a little bit of breeze just blowing up around here. How much difference that would make, I'm not so sure. It's not a strong breeze, that's for sure. You're not going to be aiming in the blue, trying to get it in the gold.
Even a little breeze will affect, because these are so much slower, it will affect these arrows.
Took her time and got a 9. So the time was well spent, 19 seconds, and just let go. And it's 43 for the Chinese woman. The Russian with a 10, and that's what she needs because she is a few points behind. One last arrow before we get to half-time. She can get a 10, she'll go in with a 3 advantage. That'll be a 2 advantage with a 9. So it's 52, plays 50. Slightly longer break at, at the half after the 2 ends. Is it a chance just to blow your cheeks out and just to sort of compose yourself?
Yeah, you have to start over every single time, basically. You have to shake off bad shots. You have to remember what you're doing correctly. So really it's, you take a step back and you start over.
A few 7s in there for Erdynieva. A woman who is only 19 years old, topping the World Cup rankings and averaging 107 points, which is not bad.
Not bad at
Probably
all.
a bit better than not bad. So, Erdynieva will shoot first, the 3rd set out of 4. Just missing the 10, and that'll be 9 for her, 59 points. Zhang with a 10. That's the way to turn the screw and up the pressure on your opponent when you're already ahead. Just about hitting the line, I'd say.
Yes, very close to her other arrow, which is always a good sign.
Oh, she pulled the bow after she'd shot it to the left there. She wasn't happy at all. Well, as soon as it left the bow, she knew that was not going to be what she wanted. And it may be a way in for the Russian here. Get a 10. She's back on near even terms. And she does.
This is what we like to see, this recovery. They are neck and neck again.
And yes, exactly neck and neck. We are tied, and that's just an example. And it happens more really in the recurve, doesn't it? Of the nip and tuck, and the psychology that's going into it as well. The fact that once you start to hit good shots, the other opponent knows that they have to, and it puts a little bit of added pressure on there.
Yes, having George behind us announcing every arrow.
And he is right behind you, isn't he?
You hear it, whether you want to or not.
George is the man you can probably hear, I'm sure you can hear around the arena. He's been doing this since, he told me, since 1992. I said, do you do it full time? He said, well, no, not really. I said, oh, what's your job? He said, I work in archery. So a company that actually makes bows and arrows. So he's a man who's completely subsumed into this, as is our judge there. Our judge is from Cuba. know if that's really here or there when it comes to his role in this, but it just shows archery is worldwide as we come to the business end of this bronze medal match. So the pressure perhaps telling. 2 8s, 2 arrows to go. Erdynieva needs a decent score here. And she gets one, a 10.
Yeah, that was a beautiful looking shot. That's how she needs to continue to execute.
What can the Chinese woman do in response? Oh dear, that may well have thrown it away. You can see the Russian fans to my left here just screaming. Just another good arrow. Surely this will be hers. And that has done it. Surely not much that Zhang can do here. 106 to 93. It's a bit of a formality, but she'll take the shot anyway. And it is a 10, but it makes no difference. That 7 really did cause a lot of damage. And it's Erdynieva who came back after being behind for so long.
Yes, yes. This is the recurve bow. You can never predict. And someone gets in a good rhythm, then they can come back from a very far distance.
I don't know whether this is an Asian thing or a recurve thing, but a very restrained celebration there as well.
That's also true, yes.
No pumping of the fist here, but even so, a bronze medal going to the Russian. And she'll be mightily pleased with that. Got a bronze medal in the World Championships. Now, the World Championships is every 2 years, isn't it?
That's
and
correct.
That has a certain different kind of importance for the archers. Could you explain that to us?
Yeah, actually the World Championships used to be the most important thing that we did because there was nothing higher that you could do. And now this World Cup has provided us with 4 more additional tournaments, international tournaments every year, plus a finals. So it's quickly rivaling the World Championships for the most prestigious event. But the World Championships themselves, I mean, if you have a World Championship, there's nothing like it.